Thank you for joining us at the Yoga Circle for this effort in bringing in some change in, people where they're finding, where they're trying to find some solutions to their problems, health problems, right? So the idea behind this orientation is, when it comes to yoga, many a times people don't realize the power of it. Okay, so usually it is looked at as asanas done for flexibility, sometimes for, some body shape, or because it's fancy too, right? And we as teachers never ever get satisfaction by just teaching asanas. So because we understand the power of it, and we really feel that if it is put to use for the right purpose, it can help so many people to overcome their problems, right? So that is the idea behind this orientation or behind this workshop. So I welcome you all. And then let me just introduce my colleagues who are going to take today's session. So Dr. Sanyogita, so she is the one who will be starting with to explain the condition as hypertension or high BP. And followed by that, I will try to throw some light on why yoga, and probably some light on why us. Why do you need us? And then the third thing is going to be like, what is going to be the content of the workshop? Okay, yeah, and why so? So that is what we'll try to do, and we will keep some time for your questions and answers also, right? So let me not waste any time, and let's start with Sanyogita taking over. So I'm just starting with this. Yes, Sayo.
Yeah. So warm welcome. Good evening, everyone. So like Sujata said, I'm Dr. Sanyogita Nimbarkar, and I'll be addressing on what is blood pressure. So I personally feel nothing generates more anxiety than when you know it's high blood pressure. Then the first question is, why me? Are bapre, blood pressure. Now what? Now so many restrictions, food restrictions. Now I will have to carry my medicines everywhere. Now I won't be able to travel how I used to travel. So this is the time where you start to feel, oh, you need to take care of yourself, right? So we are here to help you out to understand what the blood pressure is. So in simple language, what is blood pressure? When the heart pumps blood into arteries, the pressure applied by the blood on the walls, that pressure is called blood pressure. Okay, so the heart squeezes and the blood from the heart goes to the arteries. From the arteries, it goes through various parts of your body. Now we all know that blood carries oxygen. And via blood, the oxygen is reached to each and every cell, every tissue of your body. So that's why we need to keep a track on the pressure, and it also makes sure that oxygen is reaching to each and every part of your body. Okay, so when it comes to blood pressure, we have two numbers, a top number and a bottom number. The top number is the systolic blood pressure. The bottom number is the diastolic blood pressure. So the top number is usually, when it is normal, it is 120 mm of Hg. That's how we measure. The bottom number is 80 mm Hg. Okay. So what is systolic? When the heart is pumping the blood, the heart is compressing, the heart is contracting, that time is the systole. Okay. And diastole is when the heart is relaxing. So with systole, the blood is traveling from the heart to various parts of the body. In diastole, the heart relaxes and it just allows the blood to come back to your heart. Okay, so that is your systole, contraction. Squeezing, that's why systole. Diastole is dilation and relaxation of the heart. Upper number, lower number. Okay. Normal is 120/80. Now, when this varies, Sujata, can you show the next slide, please? Yeah. So when this is hampered, you either get hypotension or hypertension. Hypertension is high blood pressure. Hypotension is low blood pressure. So low blood pressure, hypotension is another ball game. Today, we do not address that. Today, we are addressing hypertension. Okay. So hypertension can be primary hypertension, secondary hypertension. So when we say primary, it just comes, you never know. Many a times it does not even show symptoms. Suddenly one day you realize, oh, you have blood pressure, high blood pressure. That is primary. Secondary, when there is already a condition inside your body, and because of that condition, you have got high blood pressure. Now that condition can be your thyroid, that condition can be your kidney, that condition can be anything in the body, which is resulting in your blood pressure to rise. So there are different stages. Let us just see them in little detail. No, the previous slide only. Yeah. So there is a stage is called as pre-hypertension or elevated stage. In this stage, when we say 120/80 is normal, in this stage, you might just feel an increase in 10 mmHg. Okay, so 130/90 is pre-hypertension or elevated. So this is just the start. Now, if this is not well treated or not taken care of, then you go to stage 1. Then your normal blood pressure from 120 will increase by 20. So it will go to 140, 140/100 maybe. And then if this also you neglect, then you go to hypertension stage 2, which is 40 mmHg. Okay, increased by 40 mmHg. We also have pregnancy-induced hypertension. Now this is only during pregnancy, which is of course because of the various hormones and enzymes that are playing in the body. Okay. Again, even during pregnancy, if it is not treated well or if it is not taken care of, the patient, the member can have hypertension after pregnancy also. So there is an emergency and an urgency. An urgency is where the vital organs are not damaged. Emergency is when the vital organs are damaged. So whenever it comes to blood pressure, we really need to take care of ourselves. We really need to keep tracking the blood pressure regularly. Okay, next slide, please, Sujata. Yeah. So let us see who are at risk. Now, some things which you cannot do anything, your age. So 50 years and plus. Of course, with age, the heart gets weaker, the arteries get more stiffer, and that's how can lead to hypertension. Your gender, male are more likely to be affected compared to female. Female usually get maybe during their menopause or after. Sedentary, now there are some things which you can do to take care of your hypertension. Sedentary lifestyle, sitting for long hours will of course give you weight gain, obesity, leading to hypertension. Wrong food habits, alcohol, smoking will lead to hypertension. Family history, again, something which you cannot do. Blame it on your genes. So with all the love they're giving you, with all the assets and the finances they're giving you, they can give you hypertension also. Okay, so we need to deal with it. Again, stress and other lifestyle disorders, which Sujata will be talking later. So now how do you know that you are suffering from high blood pressure? What are the signs and symptoms? Many a times, many a times, hypertension is asymptomatic. And that's why it's called a silent killer. And that's why it is said 50 plus, you should get your blood pressure checked once in 3 months for sure. Okay. So there is uneasiness, suffocative feeling, giddiness. Sometimes the member complains of difficulty in breathing. They feel a choking sensation, sometimes in the throat, sometimes in the chest. There is headache, pain in the neck, pain in the chest, pain that is shifting to the left hand, numbness, tingling. Also, sometimes they feel there is irregular heartbeat or irregular heart rate. So they panic at one time and they are dull at one time. So lot of fluctuation seen in the body. Fluctuation also in body temperature, accompanied by cold sweat. Suddenly they feel numb, they feel cold. Suddenly they feel hot flushes also. So these can be symptoms of hypertension. Irregular hunger patterns. We never know. No, Sujata, if you can keep the same slide. Irregular hunger patterns, nausea. We never think, but they can be symptoms of hypertension. Feeling tired, feeling low on energy of all the time is also a sign of hypertension. Next slide, please. Yeah. So with all this, what is going to happen to the body? Can be a stroke, can be loss of vision, can be a heart attack, overloading of the kidneys, can be kidney failure also, sexual dysfunction, heart failure, are just to name a few. Okay. Diagnosis. So whenever you visit the doctor, the first thing they do is they see your pulse rate. The next thing they do is they see your heart rate. The third thing is the blood pressure, right? Nowadays with COVID, they also see the respiratory rate and the oxygen saturation rate. But otherwise, it is immediately they see is the blood pressure. Now, if they find the blood pressure little abrupt, they will ask you for simple blood test. Blood test, in your blood test, they can ask you right from hemoglobin to your lipid profile, to your triglycerides, to your cholesterol. So everything has parameters, and seeing that, a doctor can guess whether you are hypertensive or no. So whenever the doctor is suggesting, please go for these tests. X-ray chest, because the heart can show little enlargement. That's the simplest way, especially in small towns, to know what is happening in the body, what is happening with the heart. ECG is a way where there are electrical waves showing the abnormality of the heart. Apart from this, you also have the 2D echo, which will give you sound waves. And then there are patterns in which it shows it is working abnormally. Okay. And then again, further, if there is specialized doctors, they'll ask you for stress test, and then the test keep going on and on and on. Okay. So these are the simplest way to diagnose your blood pressure. Next slide. So how will you manage it? Easiest is the medicine, right? But my question to you is your medicine allowing you to relax mentally? Is your medicine allowing you to become physically stronger? What is the medicine doing? Okay, so when it comes to hypertension and its medicine, diuretics, what does diuretics do? They allow the water levels, the sodium levels to reduce from the body, which only means they are excreted out through the urine. Sometimes it can give more hydration because there is frequent urination. So with the water, there's a lot of sodium, the required sodium also being flushed out. Many a times it is required potassium also, which is flushed out because you are on diuretics. beta blockers, then there are alpha blockers, there are alpha beta blockers. All these medicines help you to relax the blood vessels, but they also have adverse effects like brain fog and stuff. Okay, same goes with the ACB inhibitors. They help you to relax the blood vessels, but they actually make your nerves little numb. Okay, so then there is a kind of fear response that is developing in your nervous system, in your sympathetic nervous system. Then you have the NSAID, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which do have side effects again, like brain fog, dementia, etc. Other way of management is your lifestyle modification. Weight. Gaining weight, weight loss is the easiest way to tackle your hypertension. Okay, changing food habits, maybe keeping a track on your salt intake. Again, a good way to take care of your hypertension. Stress management will help for your psychosomatic disorders like loss of sleep and stress, which Sujata will address. And then in the last, we have yoga and breathing techniques, which Sanjana will address. Okay, so without further delay, I hand it over to Sujata. In case you have any questions, you can either type in the chat box or we take it after the complete orientation. Yes, Sujata, to you.
Thank you, Sayogita. Yes. So here we come, like after understanding what is the condition, right? Now let's try and understand, okay, why yoga, right? So as we see, the condition is, where the challenges are on multi-level. So what are the multi-level challenges? It works on the mind, it works on the body, right? And then from the mind, it works on the body, mainly, right? Now, we get to know only when it reaches the body. We don't get to know it till then. So only when there is a fluctuation and you go to the doctor and then the doctor says, yes, you have this. What has happened in between? In between somewhere, it has started percolating from your mind into the body, and which is recognized so very well in the yoga system. So in yoga system clearly says, Yoga Shastra clearly says that all these diseases, they are originating in your mind first, and then they find their way into your body, and then they become so chronic that at that time, you just don't realize the source of it. Fine? Yes, it's all right. So we always say that yoga is more preventive. Okay, it's okay. But now when we know that it has already happened, what can we do about it? So what we need to understand first of all is all of us are creatures of patterns. Do you agree with me? Do we have patterns of life? Do we have patterns of thinking? Yes. So we all are creatures of patterns. And by this age, like as you saw, that somewhere close to 50s, you lived enough on this earth to create the patterns. Okay. You've had enough time to create the patterns. Okay. And then as they say that people do die, but habits don't die. So what are your patterns? Your patterns are the physical patterns, physiological patterns, and the mind patterns. Do you react? Do you respond? What do you do? Okay. Then that functioning, which is happening on the mind level, what effect does it have on your body? And when I talk about body, I'm talking about physiological systems, the secretions of your endocrines, that what Sayogita was talking about, the hormones, right? So we are talking about that stuff. We are talking about the organs. Now, whenever it comes to any physical fitness or exercise, everybody talks about the muscles, bones, how fast you can run, how much you can run. What about the internal organs? How do you strengthen your heart tissue? How do you strengthen your respiratory muscles? What effect your diaphragm has on your breathing? What is the role of your diaphragm when it comes to your emotions and reactions? Have you ever given a thought to it? No. Now, have you ever thought about it? Whenever you are scared, what is your reaction? Your reaction is, when you do that, what is your diaphragm doing at that time? And whenever your diaphragm is like that, what kind of condition created internally? A pattern created here. How do I break that pattern? I break that pattern by training myself, by manipulating the diaphragm, because remember, the breathing, even though it is involuntary function, the only involuntary function which we can control voluntarily, right? And for that, if we get trained properly, whatever is the external situation, my reactions, my bodily reactions, again, I'm not talking about just mind, my bodily reactions are also going to change. How often does it happen that the doctors tell you, take it easy? Can you? How often doctors tell you, learn to relax? Can you relax? How often does it happen you're lying on the bed and you don't know how to relax? Why? Because you haven't created that pattern. Create the pattern, train yourself that whenever I'm like this, I can relax. And that is what precisely yoga does to you. So the tools and techniques, what we use in this particular workshop or in this particular course, what we are going to start with, are to train you for that. And how do we train you for that? Because our experience has taught us, when you do this, this is the physical, physiological, mental response. So what do? We pick up that stuff, we make a program for you, we train you for that, so that you create new patterns for yourself. Right? That is the idea behind this whole program. Now, once we understand this, let us see, because, we, when it comes to the big institutes, right? Whenever people from those big institutes, when they talk and when they endorse yoga, we start believing. Okay. Around the corner, the yoga class teacher, when she tells you, we are very skeptical about it. Don't know what happens. So do you really want to see some of the results of the researches? Let me just share them with you. Yeah. And then we'll come back to this. So just look at this. A large number of studies show that yoga benefits many aspects of cardiovascular health. Who says this? Hugh Collins, MD, Director of Cardiac Arrhythmia Service at Johns Hopkins. He says this. And what does he say? Cardiologists and other professionals recognizing that these benefits are real. Look at the next one. Sorry. Yes. What was this research about? Effectiveness of yoga for hypertension, systematic review and meta-analysis, National Library of Medicine. What is the finding? Overall, yoga was associated with a modest but significant reduction in blood pressure. So modest but significant, understand the difference, okay? That even bringing it down by 4 mmg, what is going to happen? You are reducing the possibility of heart attack. Just bringing it down a little bit. All those harmful side effects, you're not going to face them at all. Then this one. Trials to investigate whether yoga can reduce high blood pressure. And what is the finding of that? Let's just see the finding of this. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Just give me a second, please. Yeah. So at 12 weeks, the reduction in blood pressure was more significant in the group that did only yoga compared to the group that followed the education and walking program. So yoga, even if we look at yoga as exercise, it is exercise plus plus. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Then one more study. After 3 months of yoga, the mean value of systolic blood pressure is just whatever are the numbers, and diastolic blood pressure is 81. And what was the conclusion of this particular research? Effect of yogasana come in various forms in physiological and psychological level, and the positive effect of asanas helped to improve the condition of the patient, right? So now, just to cut it short, how yoga can help you? So yoga practices, there are behavioral changes, definitely. There is a discipline when you start doing yogasana. Physical activity is there. Yoga is not, what we think from outside, that just stretching, just lifting the hands up and bending forward and taking your nose to the knees is way beyond that, right? Physiological changes because of the hormonal changes and chemical changes. Quality of life goes up, mood goes down, stress is reduced drastically. Anyone who is been practicing yoga for more than 3 months, ask them, this is the result. Whatever reason they join yoga classes for, ultimately they talk about this, how they feel de-stressed, right? Physiological changes, so many are listed here. So many are listed. And what is the result of all of that? Prevention and control of diabetes, control of body weight, BP, lipid profile, prevention of cardiovascular events, diabetic complications. That is a result of all of this. And hence, we believe that if you are committed to give us 3 months, and if you can build that discipline to do something good for yourself, yes, you will see change, right? Now from here, let's try and understand that what yogic practices we will be doing, we will be covering, and why. So for that, I'm just asking Sanjana to take over. Yes, Sanjana.
Thank you, Sujata. Hello, everyone. So why we are here, we all know. Okay, so how we are using yoga to overcome our situation or to handle our BP issue. So we have different tools in our yoga practice. Asanas, pranayams, mudras, bandhas, meditation, and awareness building tools. So we are going to use these tools to handle the situation, to overcome or prevent the condition. So we all know that asana, how asana help. They just don't only work on bones and muscles, but mindfully doing each and every asana with total awareness, with synchronizing it with the breathing, will help us to strengthen the internal organs. So these asanas like chest opening asanas, done with different kind of breathing, sometimes we even chant the mantras, will help us to strengthen the heart function. So as Sujata said, building the patterns. Okay, so we have some patterns, and because of that, we because of the wrong lifestyle and all, different problems starts coming into our life, physically, mentally. So here we are reprogramming ourselves, bringing the discipline in ourselves. So we, especially during this asana program, we are doing it with the synchronizing breath with body movement. So each and every movement done with particular breathing pattern. So that will help us to strengthen the internal organs and build the discipline in ourselves. So this is about asana practice combining with different other tools like breathing and sometimes even chanting the mantras. Now, how many of us can relax ourselves at our will? Whenever I want, are you able to relax at that time? It is very simple, or it is very easy to get into the action, to do things at any time. But it is very difficult to relax ourselves. So to train ourselves how to relax at will, for that also we have different tools like Yoga Nidra. So through Yoga Nidra, we are going to train ourselves to relax at will. And relaxation is what is going to work on the hyperstimulated sympathetic nervous system. It will help us to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and activation of parasympathetic nervous system is the important part of controlling blood pressure also. So Yoga Nidra is not just meditation and expanding the consciousness and all, but it also works on the, so bodily benefits are the, we can say, side effects of this path, but definitely we get the benefit in our physical being. So specific practices done in a systematic way under guidance, with regular practice, it can bring physiological and chemical changes in the body. So next slide, yeah. So this pranayam practice is different. We will share different pranayam practices which work on the pranic body, the energy body. So we all know that the disturbed mind, okay, can reflect, we can, the state of mind can be reflected, it reflects into our breathing. And when breathing affects, it shows imbalance in our energy body. And imbalanced energy body shows its effect in our physical body. So that's how Sujata said, from Adi, it comes like the origin of Vyadis is into the Adis. So from mind, everything starts. So that's why we call it psychosomatic illnesses. So all the time our mind and body keeps fighting. What mind wants, body doesn't do. What body wants, mind doesn't do. So the breath is the bridge between mind and body. So when we control the breath, we can balance, bring the harmony between mind and body. So pranayam helps us here. The bandhas, different kinds of mudras, helps to direct the energy in different parts of the body. The combination of pranayam, mudra, bandha helps us to strengthen the internal organs. Different kumbhak therapies and all helps to strengthen the internal organs. So many a pranayam, they reach or work on the cellular level. For example, Brahmari pranayam or the Bija mantra chanting. It works on the cellular level. They help to make each and every cells functions better with these pranayam practices, using these tools. So when the cell starts functioning better, the organ starts functioning better. And when all the organs functions well, the system starts to function well. So it's like hierarchy. So we work on the cellular level, and then system starts functioning better, and all systems are interlinked, like blood pressure, circulatory system, glandular system, everything are interconnected. So through these practices, we are actually working on all systems together. It's not like only working on heart or only working on this. So in this program, we are using certain Bija mantras, Bija mantra chantings. So these Bija mantras work on pranic and sthula body. Okay, so we all know that when there is change, balance in the pranic body, we are balancing our physical body also. So we are working on a physical body also. So these bija mantras also work on the cellular level. And the most important part of this program is building awareness. Building awareness is the most important part. With breath awareness and overall in general, building, doing whatever we are, why we are doing, how we are doing is more important. Asanas, though, you will see we do everywhere. You will see that in any yoga studio, any yoga class, asanas and all are done. But how we do it is more important. With which awareness, with which movement, which breathing, which even like sometimes we chant the mantra while doing particular asanas. So the combination of everything is what brings the positive result. So we all know that, or according to our Ayurveda and even Yoga Shastra, all the problems arise in physical and mental body because of the imbalance in the three doshas. So all the practices designed here, the breathing practices, asana practices, their goal is to balance these three doshas. And when there is a balance in three doshas, it brings physical and mental health. So this is how we are going to address this blood pressure issue through our yogic practices. Thank you, Sujata. So you will tell about the program.
Anyone, any questions so far? Because then I'll explain to you how this will be carried out, this particular program. Okay, so if no questions, then let me just explain to you. So it's going to be like this, that every week there will be 2 sessions. First session will be the one in which we will teach you, like, we have built a protocol. So the protocol is like, we will start it from the first session, and by the end of the 3rd month, you will be independent. You can carry it out on your own after that. That is how we are going to make it. So first, every week, first session, we will teach you the practices. Second session, it will be any difficulties if you face and revision of the practices. And weekly, you will get a video to practice at home at per your own convenience. Okay. And even the video, we are breaking it so that, because we all understand that why do you have BP? Because probably you're too busy. Okay, so we do understand that, yeah, that you're stressed for time, you're stressed for work, etc., etc. So what do we do is we break it. So some part you can do in the morning, some you can do in the evening, or during lunch, or in the office, or whichever way. But what your participation is the most important thing in this. We are trying to make it as easy for you as possible. Yeah. So every week you will get the video, then you will get 2 live sessions. And of course, the teachers are available to you through messages. Sometimes even if you want a quick call and talk to the teacher and find out what's happening, that's possible. So 3 months will go like this with the help of home practice material and 2 live sessions every week. Now, even if you miss some of the sessions, it does happen sometimes that, we can't make it. You will even get the video recording of that session too. So it doesn't happen that you're not with the class, right? Now, this program, we have decided there won't be any entries in between. So when you start as a whole group, and then you have to continue for the 3 months. The idea behind this is once you continue for 3 months, after that, you're on your own. So, like again, in your busy schedule, you don't have to take out time for such things. Get it? So any questions, anyone? Yes, Sonia. Please unmute, Sonia.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a BP issue, but can I do the program to prevent it?
You've been doing yoga, right? Otherwise,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't need it. You're already preventing it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Okay. See, this particular protocol is built for the people who are already facing issues.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Hi, Janjana. Good to see you. Hi.
Hi, so good to see you, Sujata, after a long time.
Yes. So, any doubts, anyone? Are you convinced? Just show me a thumb, please. It feels good. Yes. Right. Because we all are convinced. We all are very positive about it. It's just a question like, for the people who need it, are they convinced? And then that makes us feel, yes, something is happening. Because, as I was telling in the beginning, some of you joined in a little late, that as yoga teachers, it doesn't give us full satisfaction just to teach how to do Trikonasana. Okay. Yes, we do teach. We are enthusiastic about it. But our satisfaction comes when we see the possibility of transformation. Okay, because yoga is more transformative. And that is where this comes. So our enthusiasm lies in that a lot more. Okay. Fine. So if there are no questions, I think we
Ma'am?
can. Yes. Who's that?
Will this also work for fluctuating BP? I'm Jayanti.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Jayanti. Yes. Sayogita, do you want to answer this?
Yes, certainly it will work for the fluctuating BP.
Okay. And what will be the timing of the sessions?
So it's Tuesday, Thursdays, morning 7 to 8.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Marisela, it's a 3 months program. Yeah. So what next, Jaya?
I had a question.
Someone had a question. Let me.
I'm Jaideep. I had a question. I'm in the pre-hypertensive stage as per Dr. Sayogita. My question is that I have an issue with my systolic blood pressure. My diastolic remains between 82 to 86 or maximum 88. My systolic always races ahead and it fluctuates between a normal value of 122 to a higher value of 138. And most of the times I've observed that I have a fluctuating heart rate. Whenever I do something, some activity in a hurry, my heart rate increases and later on gradually it comes down. So for such a problem which I am facing, will this course help me? And how will it?
Yeah, so you're on the luckier side where only half of the things are not in place, half of the things are already in place, right? So for you, it will certainly help for that half of the things which are not in place to get in place. So we don't want to go from that to stage 1. In fact, from pre-hypertensive stage, we want to come back to normal stage, right? So this program will certainly help you to get yourself into that kind of discipline which needs, and some things you may be not taking care of in spite of doing other exercises. Like Sanjana said, the breathing patterns or something, which will certainly help you to come back to normal stage. Okay, in case you're on medications, you can of course continue your medications, but it will help you not to go to stage 1.
Sayogita or Sujata, I'm just going to ask this question. Say, suppose they are on medication right now, and if the doctors have prescribed them not to do certain practices, so based on the yoga practices that we've designed, will that be safe for them to do?
Yes, certainly.
Jaya, you know what, as I was telling them that the first session will be in which we teach the practices. Second session is the one in which we, if it's needed, we customize them also. Okay. So, and then they can be in contact with the instructors constantly. And then, like Jaya, you know it, right? How we, all of us, we sort of customize things even on the spot. Right. Yes, so you don't have to worry about it. Like if your doctor has told you, and then we won't make you do things like, be there upside down for 10 minutes. No, we won't do that. Okay. That, believe me, for many applications of yoga, you do not need complicated postures. Okay. You just don't need. So you don't have to be an avid yoga practitioners to benefit from this program. Even if you've never done yoga, you can still join. Okay, yes, Chitra. Unmute.
Yeah. I want to ask is if a person who has BP, but who had also had a heart issue, like who has undergone just a stunt surgery or something like that, can they do this?
Yes, this program is for them.
It will help them.
Yes, even open heart surgeries.
Okay.
Later 6 months onwards, what happens is then there is a lot of restriction in your movements, especially the upper body.
Yeah.
And so your chest is also, you tend to kind of not use the muscles of the chest. So in fact, this program is for them.
Sujata, this is Pradeep.
Yeah.
Question. You shared some surveys and some of the studies that were done, and
Yes.
you talked about reducing the blood pressure, diastolic, systolic, diastolic by whatever 4-8 mm HgMM times. Now, if somebody is already on BP medication, will the same thing apply to them also, reducing the blood pressure by that much? Or you're talking about people who were never on BP medication, and for them the reduction was 8 mm and 4 mm?
So medication is assumed like, rather, isn't it, Sayogita? It's assumed that most of you will be on medication.
Okay.
Yes.
So the thing is, from 1 tablet, we don't want to go to 2 tablets, right? From 30 mg, we don't want to go to 60 mg.
Sure.
We want to, if not, we are coming down, we don't want to exceed also. We want to have that kind of a body which will at least take care of itself and not damage itself more.
Sure, thanks.
Yes.
I have a question. Can the medicine be reduced? Like I'm on 2 tablets currently, one in the morning, one in the evening.
You're the
So
first
is that possible?
join the course, okay? You're the first one who's going to join the course. See you today morning, 7 a.m. Don't think
I'm going to join for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will certainly. So
okay.
like I was telling Pradeep, we cannot say that your 2 tablets will come to 1 tablets immediately. It's a discipline that you have to inculcate. It's a pattern that you have to build in, follow, and then you will see the results.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So when are you planning to start this?
Coming Tuesday. Coming
Tuesday.
Yes. So we have videos for you. I know you travel, so you can. You have the mobile.
We started thinking, Sayog.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't think, because we've given you all the options. Wherever you are, you just need a mat.
Yeah.
Even if you're traveling, even if you're in a hotel room, you just need a mat.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine.
So there is no excuse.
No, I'll surely be joining.
Whether he likes it or no, he has to do it. That's about it.
True.
So, Yogita, there is a chat message about the dietary restriction. Can you just answer that?
Yeah. So the question is, when we are going through the program, would you also suggest dietary habits to be followed? To a certain extent, we will, but we will also want you to follow whatever your doctor has told you, prescribed you. But to a certain extent, Sanjana will help you with that for sure. Yes, Shubhada, you had some question?
Yeah, like I have been having hypertension for a long time. So long, maybe 30 years now, more than that actually. And it is constant. I mean, I've never raised the tablet or anything like that. So used to it, I take these tablets, I take like my multivitamins, So I mean, I do want to do this, but I also want to do so many other of your these things. So how specifically this will help me, or should I be doing your other
Yes.
This question I just realized when I'm listening to all of you. That's all.
Yeah, because you have already disciplined yourself into a kind of exercise, but this program will take you a little ahead where it will be specifically for your heart symptoms. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Fine. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
So if there are no more questions, shall we call it a day? Yes. Shall we call it a day if there are no more questions? Yes. All right. So thank you everyone for showing up.
I'm just going to go through the process in case if somebody is free. So the way we will do is you can contact any of us through who you got the link. And before you go ahead and pay, we will have you fill out a form to gather your information, medical information. So Sayogita as a doctor can go over that information. And in case if she has any doubts that whether you'll be able to do this program or even if you should do this program, she will be in touch with you. You'll have a one-on-one conversation with her. And if everything is okay, then we will send you the link for the payment. And most of you know our software, and it's going to be a simple, straightforward. You will just click on a join button and you will join the class. And in case if you miss the class, or even if you don't miss the class, but you want a revision of what happened in the class, all the classes will be recorded and will be right from the first class till your last class. The videos will be available for you to go back and practice at any time. Any particular video that you want to go back and revisit, you will have access to it till the length of the program. And the new videos that will be sent will also be sent to you automatically. So you have it on a Tuesday. A certain day will be fixed for it. On that particular day, after the class, you will have the video. So you have one whole week for you to practice with that video as well. Yeah, so everything is going to be streamlined. So the information is given to you. It will be up to you to go ahead and work on it. Sujata, you're on mute.
Good night, everyone, and thanks again. Yes, thank you, Sanjana, Sanyogita, to Jaya, yeah, and all the participants. Looking forward to seeing you all in the program, and please be participating in your own health. Okay, we are there to help you. We are there to guide you, but your participation is the most important thing, right? Yes. So thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.